I want, in the interest of time, to adopt the protocol so ably led before me, but it would be remiss of me were I not to recognize the presence of our esteemed Governor General, Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, members of the Federal Cabinet, and in particular, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Aviation, the Honorable Mark Brantley, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, our Minister of Agriculture et al., our Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Honorable Vincent Byron, our Senator with responsibility for health, the Honorable Wendy Phipps, our Cabinet Secretary, Mrs. Josephine Huggins. Of course, I would like to equally extend my own quote of welcome to all of you as we are here celebrating the fourth occasion of Diplomatic Week, a week and its importance to which the Baroness who spoke before me in her capacity as lead functionary at the Commonwealth explained so ably. This week is a celebration which is dear to all our hearts in St. Kitts and Nevis. And for me, I reminisce over the fact that several years ago, in 2007, we inaugurated Diplomatic Week, and what a wonderful week it was. It shows in large measure longevity, because with us then today are many of you who were there way back then in 2007. Dr. Doyle, the Gunul and Ikut, and several others who were part of that setting then when we first met. Of course, in long service has been our High Commissioner in London, Kevin Isaac, and we have had several other persons who have survived the intricacies of life in foreign service. So a special welcome to you. And clearly I am pleased that some 12 years after, an initiative which was given birth to in 2007 continued to assume salience and importance as part of our strategy moving forward. I am delighted that we are able to welcome such a large group of non-resident representatives from across the globe, including Africa, Asia, Europe, North and South America, to our shores on this very special occasion. And I know that you will find to be of immense benefit the range of activities so ably organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I would also ask you, the high representatives of your respective countries, to convey the warmest fraternal greetings from the government and people of our beloved Federation of St. Kitts Nevis to your respective heads of state and government. We highly appreciate the very friendly relationships with our diplomatic partners and your efforts to strengthen these bonds of friendship. And we look forward to creating new and expanding opportunities for cooperation. I wish all of you a rewarding tour of duty as you continue to serve your countries with distinction. It also warms my heart to welcome home our heads of missions and honorary consuls who continue to give yeoman service to our country in their respective jurisdictions. Thank you for your unwavering efforts in helping us not only to expand the diplomatic footprint of St. Kitts and Nevis, but also ensuring that our nationals in the diaspora have someone to turn to in times of difficulty, concern, or need. I say thank you for living up to our country's motto, country above self, as you continue to serve thousands of miles away from your families and in climates that differ considerably to the tropical climate we enjoy year-round in this Twin Island paradise. I want to invite each and every one of our ambassadors, heads of mission to stand and ask the audience to give them a round of applause. Could we have the ambassadors of St. Kitts and Nevis serving? Please stand and recognize. And our honorary councils also. Our honorary councils. We thank all of you for your outstanding service. Thank you. You may be seated. I want to publicly pledge my government support as you continue to enhance our relations in the global theater, so that we may yield even more positive and tangible results nationally. 8 years, 2001 to 2008, as Minister of Foreign Affairs, have entrenched in my mind that there is no foreign policy without domestic policy. Put another way, our foreign policy agenda must help us to advance the quality of life of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and externalize the values which our society and our region hold dear. In the ever-changing world, we need a reminder of what is really important to us, first and foremost, and how our partners can be of assistance to us in satisfying our people's expectations. Equally important is how we may reciprocate. Diplomatic Week 2019 is being celebrated under the theme, Securing a Resilient Future through Strategic Diplomacy and Effective Dialogue. Indeed, it was over 35 years ago when we attained independence on September 19, 1983, that our nation and its leaders set out on a new frontier to chart this country's destiny and secure a resilient future for all our people. We were elated that many of you were able to join us in the grand celebration of our nationhood last September. And again, I want to express our immense gratitude for the congratulatory messages which we received from your heads of state and government on that auspicious occasion. Over 35 years, we stand proudly as Kittitians and Nevisians, and we say our small island, twin island state of St. Kitts and Nevis is a model of a well-managed state. 35 years ago, as the world's newest independent sovereign nation and the smallest independent country in the Western Hemisphere, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis was quickly steeped in strategic diplomacy, joining the Commonwealth of Nations on September 19, 1983, and becoming its 48th member. St. Kitts and Nevis also joined the United Nations. Of course, on that date, on the 23rd of September 1983, we became its 158th member, and we got ourselves membership in UNESCO on October 27th, 1983, as its 161st member. I want to salute Dr. Doyle, our representative to UNESCO, and Mr. Antonio Maynard, our local head of the UNESCO Secretariat, could both gentlemen stand and could we give them a round of applause? Thank you. St. Kitts and Nevis, the records will show, is among the most active and informed among the membership of UNESCO in Paris. Our country also forthwith formed important alliances, establishing diplomatic relations and effective dialogue with the United Kingdom and several of our Caribbean neighbors on the 19th September 1983. Also as well with the United States of America and the Republic of Korea, that is South Korea, on September 20th, 1983, and with the Republic of China on the 23rd, Taiwan that is, on the 23rd of September 1983, Canada on the 11th of October 1983, and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela on October 31st, 1983, among several others. So we had a view of ourselves, and we had a view of the nature and the necessity of an engagement with the rest of the world. We had a view of the multilateral system, hence we quickly became members of the Commonwealth body, where there was a kingship and affinity to our circumstances. We understood way back then that we couldn't make it alone, but alone we will try hardest to ensure the continuing growth and development of this beautiful country. To date, St. Kitts and Nevis boasts visa-free access to now 158 countries. Our passport ranks number 24 in the entire world, first in the OECS and second in CARICOM. This is an amazing achievement. Since 2015, our government has realized the High Commission in Ottawa, Canada. And I want to recognize Ambassador, our High Commissioner, Sherry Truss. Could you stand and could we give her a special hand? We have established formal diplomatic relations with over 30 countries during this period, and visa waiver agreements with nearly 20 countries in the last 4 years, and also a visa renewal interview waiver for qualified citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis who want to travel to the United States of America. These significant diplomatic achievements, coupled with impressive medical and socioeconomic advances, such as St. Kitts and Nevis being validated by the World Health Organization as having been among the first after Cuba in the English-speaking Caribbean to have eliminated mother-to-child transmission of HIV and syphilis. Give our health workers a round of applause. In the last 4 years, it was a high honor for us to be classified for the first time as a marquee tourist destination, having achieved the feat of welcoming over 1 million cruise ship visitors during that year. Again, a significant achievement in the field of tourism. We also became the first independent state in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union to achieve a 60% debt to GDP ratio. All of these are significant indicators of how far we have traveled in the short period of some 35 years, building upon the legacy and upon the contribution of those before us. Many persons who was in this independence journey in the vineyard, if they were alive today, will say how glad and pleased they are with the work and the contribution and the developments in this, our beloved country, that have reached a high point over the last 40 years. Indeed, His Royal Highness Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, he visited us shortly, along with his wife, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cornwall. And he had some nice things to say about our country. And I want to quote a little bit of what he said. He said that he had been particularly struck by the eminent strength of the St. Kitts and Nevis Society. And he went on to say that he knows that St. Kitts and Nevis has had, quote, such a remarkable influence in the region and beyond, punching, as they say, well above her weight. And as a consequence, he goes on, the voice of St. Kitts and Nevis is heard and listened to on so many of the most pressing issues of our time, not the least on the immense and alarming challenge of climate change. End of quote. He could have added so much more on health issues, on education, on the vitality and viability of small island states. In every area we are engaged. The smallest country in the Western world, providing leadership in so many fora. This is something of which we should be proud. Such leadership, of course, was displayed last September at the United Nations Defeat NCD Partnership, when I, as lead head for that subject matter in the Quasi-CARICOM Cabinet, drew attention of the international community to the inextricable link between climate change and the global rise in non-communicable diseases, such as diabetes and hypertension, and you could add to that list, both of which cause most of the NCD deaths around the world, individually and in combination. The stark statistics featured on the Defeat NCD Partnership's website drive home the urgent need to defeat NCDs, particularly in developing countries. Consider that some 48% of the NCD-related premature deaths occur in low and middle-income countries. Here in St. Kitts and Nevis, I'm advised, and Senator Phipps would correct me if I'm wrong, that NCDs account for 83% of all deaths in the Federation. At the same time, kidney disease is an increasing health burden and a high priority NCD. The government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis are therefore grateful for the continued support of the Republic of China Taiwan, which has provided support for our hemodialysis unit at our main hospital. The Taiwanese government has also funded a chronic kidney disease program which was launched in 2017 at all 17 of our health centers, and it is now in its second phase. Let's give a round of applause to the government of Taiwan for its support in this critical matter. I look forward to chair the meeting of the councils of ministers of the Defeat NCD Partnership during the 72nd session of the World Health Organization World Health Assembly taking place in Switzerland this coming May. I will do this in my capacity as lead head for health and human development in the Caribbean Community's quasi-cabinet. That forum will present an invaluable opportunity, not just to preside, but also for me to delineate the challenges and the global efforts required to mitigate the scourge of NCDs. We have chosen as our theme, securing a resilient future through strategic diplomacy and effective dialogue, because my administration is cognizant that we have been able to achieve some success on account of our global partnerships with organizations and governments such as yours. So I take the opportunity to thank those of you who have assisted us in our endeavor to develop our economy, improve the standard of living of our country, and pave the way for a better tomorrow for all of our people. We continue to entreat the international support to improve and sustain our socio-economic advances. As you may be aware, many of our national initiatives to secure resilience continue to be attacked and undermined through unilateral restrictive policies, such as de-risking and blacklisting, and our foreign minister made reference to these. These actions, of course, provide an impediment to the future development of our country, to the policy of financial inclusion, and to our people's financial access to the global financial system. We within CARICOM take this particular challenge very seriously, and we have mobilized a subgroup within the region led by Prime Minister Gaston Brown to, as it were, provide some leadership in this critical matter of de-risking within our region. Today, at this opening ceremony, I echo the words that Antonio Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General, spoke during his opening remarks at his first press conference of 2019. He said, and I quote, "As we look to the challenges we face, from climate change to migration to terrorism to the downsides of globalization, there is no doubt in my mind that global challenges require global solutions. No country can do it alone. We need today multilateralism more than ever. The case for multilateralism, that is several different countries or organizations working to achieve common goals, has been at its most convincing and prominent in recent times. The IMF Managing Director, Christine Lagarde, has made the call for a new multilateralism, one that is dedicated to improving lives around the globe. French President Emmanuel Macron has called multilateralism the rule of law, and German Chancellor Angela Merkel declared at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland recently that multilateral institutions are indispensable if we want to live well in the world of tomorrow. She added, commitment to multilateralism is essential and a precondition for shaping tomorrow, while further noting, anything else would lead us into destruction. So the alternative to multilateralism is destruction. If that choice was so starkly clear all of us will opt for multilateralism. Given the development imperatives which face our country, St. Kitts and Nevis holds dearly to the view that multilateralism is an imperative. A little over a month ago, I had the pleasure of chairing the 30th intersessional meeting of Conference Heads of State and Government of the region. The conference provided another opportunity for my government to dialogue with our regional and international partners to assess the best way to tackle the challenges that confront our region. I am pleased, therefore, that there will be a segment later this morning that will consider regional and sub-regional perspectives to securing resilience in ensuring stability and peace. The current political crisis in Venezuela has been the focus of multiple regional and international actions. Indeed, in my capacity as chairman of CARICOM, I have attended several meetings on this issue in Guyana, at the United Nations, in Uruguay and Ecuador. My government believes that talking is always a good starting point. Indeed, it is fundamental to the pursuance of diplomacy. This is the very reason why my government supports the Montevideo mechanism, which encourages dialogue and mutual understanding among all actors in an effort to restore peace and order in Venezuela. As chairman of CARICOM, I pledge to continue making every effort to assist with bringing urgent but peaceful resolution to the volatile situation, and always the welfare, the well-being and wellness of the people of Venezuela must be uppermost in our minds. We have the collective responsibility of ensuring that our Caribbean remains a zone of peace. Escalation of the political and social impasse in Venezuela threatens peace and security in the region. Finally, in closing, I want to commend our Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Mark Brantley, for his excellent stewardship of the ministry, as well as his hard-working team, ably led by Permanent Secretary Kebas. Could we give them both a round of applause? And I extend best wishes to all of you who are participating. A special welcome to those of you who are here for the very first time. There is a lot to savor in St. Kitts and Nevis. We offer hospitality like it is not offered anywhere else. It would be remiss of you if you were not to take advantage of being in this paradise of two islands at this moment in time. So may God bless your deliberations. May God bless the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Long live multilateralism, and let us cooperate and collaborate in the interests of a better world. Thank you.